2nd of September is the date, and Saints looking to further progress in this Lancashire Cup competition, a competition which they haven't won since 1984. Anyway, the Saints team for this afternoon: number 1 Connolly, 2 Kebby, 3 Griffiths, 4 Loughlin, 5 Quirk, 6 Bailey, 7 Devine, Kevin Ward at number 8, Stuart Evans out with a sprained ankle, 9 Paul Groves, 10 Ian Connor, 11 Bateman, 12 Haggerty, 13 Cooper, 14 Vivers, who was carried off with a suspected break of the shin bone, but it was just severe bruising. He's back at substitute back, and Paul Jones at 15. The Salford side: 1 Gibson, 2 Evans, 3 Burkitt, 4 Williams, 5 Hadley, 6 Fell, 7 Kerry, 8 Sharratt, 9 Lee, 10 Conroy, 11 Bradshaw, 12 Blease, 13 Burgess, with substitutes Cassidy at 14 and Clare at 15. This afternoon's referee, Robin Whitfield from Widnes, one of our favourite referees, I may hasten to add. So all the match day officials out there, and today's mascot for Salford, Steve Nash. That's a name to conjure with here at the Willows, isn't it? Saints, as I said, looking for progress through to the semi-final stage. They was knocked out last year at home at Nosey Road by Oldham, and Salford disposed of Oldham in the first round last week by the tune of 27 points to 24. It's Saints to kick off. Paul Loughlin centre field, referee Whitfield just signalling there to the timekeepers, and away we go. Saints kick it deep. Quite a pleasant day, real sunny. It's very warm, the sun, but there's also a nice breeze blowing across the pitch here. It's Salford in possession. Mark Lee feeding it on. Well, there's Paul Groves quickly in, and as it says in the match day programme today, it's a battle of both hookers, with Paul Groves starting his career here at Salford and Mark Lee starting his at St Helens. Of course, Mark Lee transferred to Salford last year, and Paul Groves has been at St Helens about 3 or 4 years now. Big prop Tony Conroy there, but it's Mark Lee. Back to Steve Kerry. The kick upfield. Connolly well positioned, sits up nice for him. Les Quirk comes in field, but Connolly, well, a rather high tackle there. And referee Whitfield, well, he had to go in, didn't he? The tackle was high. I think it's Martin Burkitt that's actually been adjudged to have committed the offence. Well, he's got to come back over. He ran away. And Gary Connolly there, first touch of the ball. I'm not saying it was malicious, but the man went in around the neck, and he's duly penalised. So Saints fine touch just inside the Salford half. First touch of the ball for him, Ian Connor. Signed from Swinton last season. Plays well, was injured when he came, or shortly after he signed. Having some rave games in the A-team, but Saints lose possession. And loose forward Andy Burgess in possession for Salford. Conroy, Mark Lee at dummy half. Mark Lee hoping to dictate play. Salford bring it short side. Prop forward there, Ian Sharratt, but a penalty going Salford way, something in the tackle. Kevin Ward just being spoken to. Well, as long as referee Whitfield, as I say, he keeps it same for both sides, we can't grumble. But it's Steve Kerry, he's going to have a bash at goal. Just 2.5 minutes of the game gone, 1 penalty each, and a chance for Kerry to open the account for Salford. This is only the 4th time that these two sides have met since the war, and all the ties, apart from this one of course, have been at Nosey Road St Helens. 50-51 season, 61-62 and 75-76, with Saints winning 2 and Salford the last one in 76 by 21 points to 8. So a chance for Steve Kerry now. About 45 yards out, just to the left of the posts. down to the cantilever stand here at Salford. Well, it's going away to the right. Should be kept in field. Yes, Mark Bailey takes it. Saints drive upfield. Solid three-man Salford tackle. Well, Butterfingers from the Saints, but it touches a Salford man and goes back. But obviously no advantage to Salford, so referee Whitfield has to order a scrum. But there's no reason for slack handling this afternoon. A fine day. The ground, the pitch certainly looks in excellent condition. A credit to the groundsman here at Salford. Salford feed, Kerry, but he's penalised. Feeding at the scrum, I think, is yes, feeding his own second row is the indication from referee Whitfield there. So Paul Loughlin to kick over to the dugout side, the dressing room side, underneath that stand. The ball clear out of the ground, but 10 yards, beg your pardon, 5 yards short of the halfway line, and Saints in possession. Ian Connor. Coach for Salford, Kevin Tamati, will be on a high, especially after Salford disposing of two First Division sides. Salford in the preliminary round by 41 points to 12, and then Oldham last week, as I said, by 27-24. But Salford penalised for not lining up correctly at the play of the ball. So Saints fine touch on the Salford 25, and a chance now for Saints to open their account. "25 yards from the Salford line." Robin Whitfield ordering the Salford side back on side. Cooper, loop movement with Ward onto Haggerty. Strong second row, running through, tries to release it, but a good tackle there. And it's Shane Cooper, Saints captain, trying to get things going. Sean Devine doubled back in field and is duly punished for it. But Saints spreading it left. Mark Bailey sees the gap. Support inside from Loughlin. The ball's released. Good pinpoint pass from Loughlin, but it's loose. Play allowed to go on and Salford in possession. But Paul Groves comes up quickly and tackles Martin Burkitt. And Burkitt picked up a knock in that tackle. But quite a lot of loose play. Loose ball, I should say. I think Saints are in possession, are they? No, Salford have regained it. Quick hands from Salford. Ian Blease, big second row forward. Obviously no love lost between these teams. But Salford, they were relegated to the second division at the end of last season, together with Barrow and Alex Murphy's Lee. But holding down in the tattle is the indication. Salford awarded the penalty. 3 penalties to 2 in the Saints' favour, as Kerry finds touch midway between the Saints 25 and the halfway line. Conroy driving the ball upfield, and Mark Lee passing it inside to Sharrett, driving for the far corner. So it's Salford on the charge. The game seesawing from end to end. 7 minutes of the game gone. Short ball there onto standoff David Fell. Early score essential for both sides, and Salford crisp passing, putting it together. Left centre there, Peter Williams, ex-Rugby Union, was this left wing. Peter Williams and Adrian Hadley, ex-Rugby Union converts. For a forward pass ruled, the scrum down, Saints feed and Sean Devine to feed. First clean heel, and Sean Devine comes up with possession. Shane Cooper takes it well, gives the dummy, but you've got to stick hold of it right under your own sticks. Andy Bateman trying to clear the ranks, but solid Salford tackling, holding the Saints at bay at present. Kevin Ward Obviously Saints coach Mike McClellan was concerned about the 24 points that Saints conceded last week against Trafford. The ball going back. Paul Loughlin into space, stretching those legs is Loughlin, still driving upfield. Well, he's lost possession, snapped up by Blease, and the ball is Salford way. Certainly Saints have got to follow the man with the ball. Loughlin weaving his way through 10-15 yards, but no support. Quite a healthy crowd here at Salford. A fine day for watching rugby, there's no danger. Shane Cooper ordering his troops to line out as Salford take it the blind side. Short ball there onto Burkitt. Nearly penetrated the Saints defence, but solid tackling from Loughlin as Salford spread it to the left now. Bradshaw straightens up. The ball's fed inside to Kerry. It's onto Fell. Certainly looked like a forward pass that to Bradshaw, but the play allowed to go on. It's the sixth and final tackle of this sequence. Is there a drop goal coming? Mark Lee looks though he was shaping up. It's the sixth tackle. On to Evans. Can he squeeze in? Quirk has him. It's going to be the changeover. The sixth tackle it was, and the ball spread quickly. It looked as though Mark Lee was going to shape up for a drop goal, but he moved it over to the right. Tex Evans, this ex-Swinton winger, had the ball, but was duly dispatched into touch on the far corner by Les Quirk. The ball's played and Saints in possession, but we're in our own 25. We certainly have to spread it quickly. The Salford moving up and tackling like Devils, as they are nicknamed the Red Devils. Paul Groves. Kevin Ward comes back in field. Salford defence moves up exceptionally quickly, and he's taken back, but he releases it. Does Ward into space now? Divine into space. Onto Jonathan Griffiths. Well, he tried to release it there, but a good tackle. Pity he couldn't have got it away. It'd have been a running chance for Kebby. We've not seen the best of this lad yet as Groves chips through. Taken by full-back Gibson, this rangy full-back, this Aussie number one. But Saints penalised for offside, moving up too quickly as Salford, as Gibson played the ball, and it was Adrian Hadley with the ball in his hands, but referee Whitfield penalised the Saints, obviously encroaching, and Steve Kerry finds touch on the Saints 25. Prop forward Conroy. Mark Lee at dummy half. Taking it blind, but it's got to come back in field. On to David Fell. Cooper has him. Salford spread it left. Quick, crisp passing. These short passes to make sure of, hoping to make sure of no mistakes. And Salford still in possession. Blease trying to take the Saints defence on, bursting through with the ball loose and trying to release it. But I don't know what sort of a back pass that was from Ian Sharrett. But Saints gather possession from it. Divine onto Cooper, onto Haggerty. Tries to straighten up. Certainly a lot of fire in this Salford tackling. And Roy Haggerty quickly dispatched to the ground there. Andy Bateman. Strong second row forward, feeds it back inside. On to Loughlin, but the ball's lost again. Mark Bailey tidies up, but a forward pass ruled. Certainly Salford are going in very hard for that in the tackle and trying to release that ball, which they have done on numerous occasions. Scrum down 35 yards from the Saints line, more or less centre field. The Salford feed this time. Saints penalised. Not packing correctly, not parting before actually scrubbing down. Differential penalty from Steve Kerry. It's a kick for touch. Finds touch, well, about 10 yards from the Saints try line. So plenty of pressure for the Saints. They'll have to withstand this onslaught as Conroy barges forward. Mark Lee, the ball will come inside, another forward drive. Saints defence will have to hold firm. That's the idea. 2-3 men in at the tackle and force the opposition back. Mark Lee again, giving the dummy, but Cooper's there. Out to Connolly. Good play from the Saints there. Shane Cooper again, getting Saints underway. Quickness of the hand, that's what it's all about. Getting the ball moved quickly. But certainly Salford tying the Saints down and moving up exceptionally quickly. Kevin Ward, centre field, and the ball back to Loughlin for the kick down. Hadley takes it well. Pushes Kebby off, goes past Jonathan Griffiths. But Devine and Connor combine. Well, Devine, a super tackle from Sean Devine. This big, robust wingman Hadley, ex-rugby union convert. Well, the ball's with Ian Blease now. This is what the Saints coach Mike McClelland's worried about. The actual Saints defence, it'll have to tighten up. We should be getting 2 and 3 men in at the tackle and making sure these tackles count. Make sure the opposition know that they have been tackled. Mark Lee gives the dummy, break from acting half-back, but Connolly wraps him up. Saints stranded a bit on the far side as Gibson drives for the line. Sixth and final tackle again, Mark Lee, but he's held up in possession. It's going to be a changeover right on the Saints line. Quarter of an hour gone and it's been all Salford. Only one excursion into the Salford 25 for the Saints, and that was about 10 minutes ago. Groves onto Connor. Salford in again, trying to release the ball in the tackle. As I said, coach Kevin Taverty must have them really fired up. Andy Bateman. Typical cup tie this afternoon here at the Willows. Kevin Ward, lovely ball, lays it on to Jonathan Griffiths, inside to Kebby. Let's see what this lad can do. Defence coming in, but Tex Evans comes across. The man already, Kerry I think it was, that had Kebby. But Tex Evans came across. Salford penalised, Cooper takes it quickly, onto Haggerty. Well, referee Whitfield, he let that go, and then you saw it clearly. When he was into space, he decided he'd blow up. Obviously, the penalty wasn't taken correctly. So whether we're going to be penalised or whether he's just going to let it be taken again. Well, Saints elect to go for goal this time, but that would have been a certain 6 points on the scoreboard there. Cooper played it quickly, referee Whitfield right with him, let it go, but as Haggerty was put through into a big hole, he decided he'd blow up. Certainly that'll be something to talk about, won't it, after the end of the match. Well, Paul Loughlin, the first chance of points on the board for Saints. Nearly 17 minutes gone, no score. 35 yards out, centre field. Looks good from here. Yes, no problem. The touch judges raise the flags, and Saints take a 2-0 lead. So it's Salford to kick off. Steve Kerry, scrum half for Salford, and they certainly can count themselves very lucky there. Certainly the tie of this second round at Norton Park Widnes this afternoon, where Widnes take on the Pie Eaters. Loughlin bursting through, inside ball to Les Quirk. Let's hope this that penalty goal's G'd Saints up. Certainly when Saints throw this ball about, there's nobody can live with them. Ian Connor, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Mark Bailey, Kevin Ward taking up the run in. Lovely slip ball from Ward to Griffiths that then Griffiths put Kebby away. They got Saints up into that position in the Salford half. It's Haggerty again. Second row, supreme Roy Haggerty. threading his way through the Salford defence. And another 40 yards Saints have made upfield. Inside pass from Devine. Shane Cooper turned possession from moving it over to the right, over to our commentary position, back over to the left. It's Cooper again, positional kicking. Kerry, no, he couldn't field it, but he's actually touched it. So it's 10 yards from the Salford line, the ball going in off Steve Kerry. It's going to be a Saints feed, and an ideal chance for Saints to capitalise and certainly put more points on the board. Sean Devine to feed as the scrum goes down. Devine to Bailey, back to Devine, on to Connolly, linking up. 15 yards short, 20 yards short, centre field. Saints moving to the right. Mark Bailey goes the dummy, comes infield, did well, but Burgess tidies up over the top after some sterling work from the forwards. Cooper on to Haggerty again. Haggerty into space, looking to release. He does so to Connor. Groves takes it left. On to Ward, coming through. The ball's back off a Salford player. Taffel counts his wave clean. Bateman driving for the line. Cooper couldn't take it, but Bailey tidies up. And Devine has possession. Injured Saints player down there. I think it's Troy Haggerty. Took a knock as he came through. But Saints just losing a bit of impetus there. Moving back a bit. Jonathan Griffiths. On to Kebby. Into space. The Salford man has it. Kebby kicked it forward. Tried to dribble it through. It looked as though he had the beating there of Adrian Hadley, but he'd already kicked it. And it's Kebby and Connor in at the tackle. Saints now will have to hold Salford in their own 25. Have to contain them. Big forward Sharrett. Moving upfield. 20 minutes gone of this first half. They score just 2 points to nil in the Saints' favour. Mark Lee brings it blindside. Quick hand from Salford, but Kebby charges it down. Kicks it into touch. It's going to be a knock-on. Did well there, Kebby. The ball was going to come out to Adrian Hadley, and I tell you, Hadley would have moved quickly up this left wing. Certainly saved a Salford attack, that did. It's Kerry to feed. A scrum down just outside the Salford 25. Well, the ball coming out Saints side, and the referee Whitfield ruling that Paul Groves had a foot up in the scrum. Salford awarded a penalty. That's 5-4 in penalties in Salford's favour, with just the one clean heel from the scrum going Saints' way. Mark Lee to restart. On to Sharrett. Connor and Bateman tidy him up. On to Conroy. Salford again moving it right. Loop movement between the two half-backs there, Fell and Kerry. But Saints come up with possession. There's quite a lot of ball being lost, and yet the conditions are superb for open rugby. There's Quirk coming in field. Strong runner Quirk. Mark Bailey gives the dummy, straightens up. Salford in the tackle, roaming and mauling and looking to release it. Groves inside to Bailey, did well, took it under a two-man pressure from Salford. The ball just hanging in the breeze and he did well to take it. Groves again, looking for support. He has it with Cooper. Out to Connolly, did well, took it well. Evans read it well for Salford, came in. He took man and ball, and Evans is there again. It's the sixth and final tackle as Loughlin boots it downfield. Now on to Gibson. Saints will have to move in. Les Quirk has him. Good tackle around the legs from Quirk as Bateman come in to wrap him up round the top. Burgess for Salford. Salford in possession. Play midway between the halfway line and the Salford 25. Obviously a planned move there, Ian Blease. Oh, hoping to distract the Saints defence, but it didn't work. Groves was in like nobody's business. And the ball to Mark Lee, kicks it downfield. Good kick from Mark Lee into open space. And he finds touch 10 yards short of the Saints line. Les Quirk unable to stop that ball from going into touch. Sean Devine to feed. "17 minutes of the half remaining. Just 2 points to nil the score. Certainly leave a lot to be desired, these scrums, but Devine feeds and he comes up with possession. Cooper, Bailey, Bateman. Three-man Salford tackle. Cooper onto Loughlin, coming over onto the right wing. Looking to bring that extra man into play and hopefully penetrate this Salford defence, this tight Salford defence. Connor. Bradshaw in round the top. Is it Kerry round the bottom? But Cooper kicks downfield. No problem for Gibson, takes it well. But Saints defence will have to come up quickly. Three-man overlap on the right there. Tex Evans. Strong runner, but Mark Bailey has him. But Salford, they should have made more of that. Three-man overlap on the right. Mark Bailey feeds it back to Fell. I think that's Hadley looming over on the right. Must have a roving commission this afternoon, the left winger, but he's moving over there to the far side as Tony Conroy bursting his way forward. Strong running from Salford. They're certainly running hard onto the ball. That's the other prop, Sharrett. They penetrated the Saints 25, and it's Lee, and Salford take it blindside. Fell, extra man there, Burgess. He kicks it through, hopefully with the idea of Tex Evans chasing it, but Burgess is up on the ball, but it goes touching goal. So Saints to restart with a tap from the centre of the 25. Kebby, first receiver. Blease and Sheraton claiming that Kebby had lost the ball, but referee Whitfield, well, high tackle there on Ward from number 11 Bradshaw. Well, he's not even bringing the man out, but a terrible tackle that. The stiff arm. He's just telling me how to keep the tackles down and below the head area, as Loughlin finds touch just inside the Salford half. I'm sure Kevin Ward will have Mr. Bradshaw penciled in. Bateman now, running hard, strong, running forward, Andy Bateman. Ian Connor pushes one off, but solid Salford tackling. They're tackling in 2s and 3s, and that's the name of the game. You've got to get in there, make sure the man's down. Cooper taken down by Sharrett. Kevin Ward now centre field, looking for support. He gets it from Devine. Evans comes in as Devine's threading his way through. It's a pity Devine just couldn't get the ball away to Quirk on the far side, because Evans was committed. But it's centre field. Haggerty, he'll run hard, flicks the ball back to Bailey. Has to go to the left. Bailey straightens up, drives up centre field. He's still moving forward. He's brought down 10 yards short of the Salford sticks. Sixth and final tackle. Perhaps Saints will have a go for drop goal maybe. No, Groves tries to grub it through, but it's kicked dead. It's Fell that kicked it dead. He must have thought Groves was following him there. There was no pressure on Fell at all, but he made sure he didn't want to make a mistake. He kicked it dead, and therefore Salford have to drop out from between their own sticks. Gary Connolly, centre field. Well, there's certainly a lot of high tackling from this Salford side. It's Sharrett this time. Connolly's been having his first share of head treatment, hasn't he? But Blease, he's been brought over. He's the captain for Salford, and he's been spoken to, but it's Sharrett that wants warning. Plenty of head tackling, certainly not a characteristic of Salford's play usually. But a penalty to the Saints and a chance for them to extend the lead by another 2 points. Saints physio Jeanette Smith on with assistant physio Ron Wright, just giving the lads a wash and a brush up. Must be warm out there. It's quite warm up here. We're on top of the stand, right on top of the seating stand here at Salford. It's quite warm, just a bit of a breeze coming from the back of us. Certainly must be very warm down there on the playing field. But a chance for Paul Loughlin to extend Saints' lead. Kicked 8 goals last week. I mean, I know our defence wasn't really as much as we'd like it last week, but we scored 10 tries and 8 goals. Loughlin there, waved away, just goes to the left of the sticks, but the ball goes dead. Salford to drop out from their own 25, so Saints are going to regain possession. 2 points to nil the score, and 10 minutes of the first half remaining. Certainly a tight cup tie this afternoon, but Saints have withstood some tremendous Salford pressure. 3 parts of the half hour that we've already played being played in the Saints 25. It's Connolly, runs up, shows the ball. Certainly some heavy tackling, well, that's what it's all about. Certainly nothing illegal that time. But it is a body contact sport, you've got to get in there, and Salford are going in 2s and 3s and trying to release the ball at every tackle. But Salford man taking a knock there. Hooker Mark Lee. Bailey, inside ball to Bateman. Turns in the tackle, looking for support. He releases it to Groves, the ball goes back. Groves to Jonathan Griffiths, but he has to come in field. Onto Bailey, into space now. Saints on the charge. Bailey driving upfield. Tried to straighten up Mark Bailey, saw the gap. Groves, Cooper inside to Paul Loughlin. Releases it. Ward takes it. The ball going back, signified by referee Whitfield. But Saints, they're not frightened of throwing it about. Groves, good ball to Griffiths. A solid tackling there from Peter Williams. 6th and final one now. Mark Bailey on to Haggerty. Crossfield kick. Yes, just bouncing. Well, the whitewash has gone up there, so I mean, if it's bounced on the whitewash, it must be on the line, it must be in the field of play, but it's been waved back. Referee Spencer on the far side. Well, I beg your pardon, referee Spencer. He used to be a referee, didn't he? Till he was downgraded to touch judge now. Obviously, we know some of referee Spencer's exhibitions, don't we? But Salford in possession. Mark Lee. On to Conroy. Still 2 points to nil in Saints' favour. 8 minutes of the half remaining. Kerry and Fell doing a loop movement, but loose play there. But Salford tidy it up with Gibb. The Saints half, Saints feed, and they come up with possession. Saints capitalising on all the 3 clean scrums. But Quirk loses possession. Well, Salford have it there. David Fell, he did well. The ball was coming back to Loughlin, he just couldn't gather it. So possession lost there from the Saints on the first tackle. Good ball there to Williams. Inside to Hadley. Can Connolly score? Super tackle from Connolly. Keeps his man out. Certainly the pass to Williams. It looked to hint forward from our position, but good play from Salford. They spread it quickly after capitalising on a Saints mistake centre field. And Williams put Hadley away, but a pinpoint precision tackle from Connolly came in and stopped a certain try. Devine gets the ball from the scrum, comes blindside, but Kerry marshals him there, and Kebby at dummy half. Bateman, diagonal run, pushes into Arthur Bradshaw there, knocks him to the ground as Conroy comes to assist. Kevin Ward, Good ball inside from Ward to Cooper. Out to Haggerty. Overlap for the Saints here. Inside to Griffiths. Tackle right in front of us. Quick play the ball to Cooper. He's on the charge. On to Kevy now. Well, the ball lost. I think Kevy's took a knock. Certainly got a crack at the back of the head from David Fell. He's still down. He's Bremer Kevy. As Jeanette Smith comes on to attend to him. But I don't think he could do anything about it. It's David Fell there, streaking up centre field. He's up on his feet now, he's Kevy. But he's certainly got a tidy knock on the back of the head there. Tex Evans chips it through. Cooper takes it, no problem. Evans follows up. Certainly Saints handling will have to be tightened up, and the tackling, and no doubt Mike McClellan will give him the old verbal lashing at half-time. Bailey, certainly a score before half-time would be useful. It's Cooper onto Griffiths, takes it well. 5 minutes remaining. Well, Saints awarded a penalty there. Jonathan Griffiths, Mark Lee was marking him, and Lee must have wrenched the ball from Griffiths' hands. Referee Whitfield right on the job. Paul Groves gets us underway. Devine, Connor. As long as Saints can just stick hold of this ball and hopefully get further points to consolidate the lead. It's only a 2-point lead at present as Kevin Ward blockbusts his way through up to the Salford 25. Groves brings it blindside. Bailey onto Cooper. Out to Devine. He's having a good game, Devine. Certainly looking very sharp in open play. Haggerty taking up the running. Well, just a hint forward, that I would say, from Haggerty to Bateman. But obviously Haggerty is the man to follow there. Both these, all these forwards with the ball. You've got to follow the man with the ball and hopefully latch on to the end of it. But number 10 there, it's Conroy taking a knock. He's going to be substituted, as is Bremer Kebby. Phil Beaver's coming on. So the scrum to be formed, the substitution allowed to take place, and it's Jeff Clure coming on for Tony Conroy, and Phil Beavers has just come on for Bremer Kebby, and Kebby has gone right down the dugout, right into the dressing room. As I say, took a knock on the back of the head. Salford coming up with the first scrum possession of the afternoon after 36 minutes. Mark Lee trying to get Salford underway. Saints will have to contain them in their own 25, hopefully for the remainder of these 6 tackles. Phil Beaver's gone to full back, and Connolly moving out onto the wing, but it's David Fell trying to create a gap, looking to release the ball right to Martin Burkitt, but Saints penalised. Offside at the play of the ball. Salford runners up to Wigan in the 1988-89 Lancashire Cup final, which was played at St Helens. And Saints, of course, it's, as I said, 1984 since Saints actually won the Lancashire Cup, when they had to play Wigan on their own midding because there wasn't a ground big enough to hold the capacity crowd, 26,000 and odd. And Saints come out winners, 26 points to 18 with the old Malmaninga magic. But Salford in the Saints 25. Obviously they're looking for points on the board before half-time. Trailing by 2 points to 0. 2 minutes remaining. Mark Lee at dummy half for Salford. On to Kerry, inside ball to Fell. But Ward wraps him up 10 yards from the Saints line. Burgess. Short ball to substitute forward Jeff Clure. ex-Wigan campaigner, had a short spell with the Saints. The ball lost there. Scrum down to be formed. Right under the cantilever stand there, just about 10 yards from the Saints try line. It's Devine to feed. Referee takes them back to the correct spot. Devine feeds, Saints come up with possession. Beavers. Certainly Beavers, he said he heard a crack last week. He thought he'd broken his shin bone. Certainly glad he hasn't had any serious injury. A player of Beavers' calibre. Certainly we need him. Well, there must be a forward pass. Well, he's let it go. Tex Evans raises his hand in the air, but loose play from Saints. Andy Bateman couldn't take it. The ball was quickly snapped up, moved over to the right, and then it went off Martin Burkitt to Tex Evans, and it must have been a yard forward. But referee Whitfield on the job, and Salford put points on the board, and that's going to be 6 points, isn't it? Right in the 39th minute, only about 30 seconds of play remaining. We may not even have time to kick off for the restart after this conversion. Well, I do believe I heard a little bit of cheering for Salford. Certainly I didn't think that anybody come, because they haven't been cheering all the match, but they must only come to life when they score, and let's hope they don't come to life again in this match. But it's Kerry. Lofts it over. Salford take the lead by 6 points to 2. And as I said, maybe we're just waiting for the half-time hooter to sound now. But there we are before play can restart. The half-time hooter goes. Salford taking a 6 points to 2 lead. Right in the last minute, Loughlin opened the scoring in the 17th minute for the Saints with a penalty goal. Certainly Salford had been all over the Saints in the opening quarter, and then Saints had contained them quite well. Just quite a lot of loose ball possession, and Saints moved it after hooking the ball from the scrum. Unfortunately, Andy Bateman couldn't take it. It went down, and Salford capitalised on it, which Evans scored a try off a certainly disputed pass. Anyway, the half-time score at the Willows, Salford 6, Saints 2. And edging into a 6 points to 2 lead. Okay. Back with you now for the second round, the second half of the second round of the Lancashire Cup. Salford just scoring in the 39th minute with an Evans try and a Kerry goal. So to the half-time interval, it was 6 points to 2 in Salford's favour. Certainly Salford putting the Saints under a lot of pressure in the opening 15 minutes, but Saints weathered the storm, but unfortunately lost the ball near the end of the half, and Salford capitalised on it. Salford kick it deep. Sean Devine brings it up to the 25, and it's Clare and Burgess that sort him out. On to Andy Bateman, releases the ball to Bailey. Unfortunately it was Andy Bateman that lost the ball that led to that Evans try, even though in my unbiased opinion the final pass from Burkitt to Evans certainly looked a shade forward. Loughlin, kick upfield, deep kick. Gibson has to turn and chase it. Gathers it there as the Saints defence comes up. They'll have to make it count as they do. Lee at dummy half feeds it on to Hadley. Threading his way through, overlap for Salford is Gibson. Well, Blease turns it inside to Clare. The loose ball, but it's knocked back by a Saints pair of hands, and Salford have another 6 tackles to hopefully make it count. They certainly should have made more of that, but it's Kerry, lofted ball, over to Arthur Bradshaw, turns it in field to Burkitt, on to Kerry, Hadley now, on to Quirk, tries to bundle Quirk out of the way, but solid tackling from Quirk, and Beavers dispatch him into touch. Certainly Salford should have made more of that on the far side. They must have had a two-man overlap at least, and they was throwing it about in field. If they'd have kept it out to the wing, I'm sure it would have paid dividends, but that's their loss. But Saints come up with the first clean heel from the scrum in this second half. Cooper onto Bailey. Certainly they've stuck to the task all through the match of Salford. The tacklings have been superb. Haggerty, good ball inside to Groves. Looking for support there, Groves, but solid tackling again. Kevin Ward taking up the running. Paul Jones, Saints forward substitute, just warming up on the touchline on the far side. Cooper to Beavers. The ball kicked high. Gibson takes it well as he moves cross field, but Bailey has him. From acting half-back, Bradshaw, on to Gibson, on to Lee, Kerry again. Short ball, it's loose, Quirk tidies up. Quirk's going to be into the corner. Yes, good try from Les Quirk. He goes in. And he's 10 yards from the uprights there. Salford lose possession here just outside their own 25, and Quicksilver Quirk snapped the loose ball up, beat the opposition and hurt him for a try. Les Quirk goes in there. Not many will beat Quirk there. Very pacey wingman, just like the last minute of the first half where Salford capitalised on a Saints mistake. Salford were punished there, they lost the ball, and certainly as Quirk picked it up, he had a man on his shoulder, he couldn't tackle him. Quirk completely outpaced him and went in field and touched down 10 yards from the uprights there. So Paul Loughlin on the right side for him. Hopefully he can tag it on and put Saints back in the lead. Just to the right of the sticks, unfortunately. So the score's all level after 4 minutes of the second half, 6 points each. As I was saying before, Salford runners up to Wigan in the 88-89 season. In fact, Salford have only won the Lancashire Cup once since the war. They beat Swinton in the 1972-73 season by 25 points to 11. But a certainly keenly contested second round this afternoon. Well, the ball being wrenched out of Shane Cooper's hands. Certainly that's the Salford tactics, going at the tackle 2 and 3 men and hopefully release the ball, which certainly they've done on umpteen occasions. Fell, Burgess, on to Blease, releases the ball to Hadley, to Williams, I beg your pardon. But Beavers comes in there, and Bailey certainly complete the tackle. Salford on the charge now, these big forwards driving through. Sharrett, Lee again, and the ball's going to be moved in field, is it? Lee scampering through from acting half-back. Ward and Phil Beavers bring him down, and Saints line out as Salford press up on the line. Kerry bobbing his way through. Won't be surprised if Salford don't try for the 1 point here. Back to Mark Lee. Looks good, certainly plumb, and that's the name of the game. If you've a chance of points, right near your opposition's line. It's 1 point, and it certainly could win the game for Salford. So Mark Lee, he pops the drop goal over. Saints kick off, and Salford make a hash of it at the other end, put themselves under unforced pressure. They're forced to drop out from between their own sticks now, and it'll put Saints back on the charge. Kerry drops out. It sits up nice, but Jonathan Griffiths makes sure. In the centre today, Griffiths obviously with the injury to Phil Beavers, even though he's on the substitutes bench and now at the full-back position. But Haggerty there releases it to Beavers again. On to Connolly, moved on to the right wing. Certainly Beavers is a player you can't afford to do without. He's a full-back, he came with Malmaninger 84 season, but his play anywhere is good play from the Saints there. Tontelez, Quirk again. Quirk will take him on. Feeds inside, Bateman again. Justin, oh well, now that's debatable. He must have his feet, well he's not moved as Bateman. He's not moved, and he's just barely on the line. And referee Spencer has given him in touch. So another controversial decision from referee Spencer. And a scrum down to be formed 10 yards from the Salford line. Saints penalised at the scrum. What's he indicating? Oh, not parting proper before going into the scrum. But the clock being stopped. Is it why Salford make a substitution? Or is it Saints going to make a substitution? He's looking over to the bench. Yes, Andy Bateman being substituted by Paul Jones. So Paul Jones allowed to come on, replacing Andy Bateman. Unfortunately, Bateman's had a nightmare of a game. Unusual for him, usually a very safe pair of hands on a good strong running forward, but he's just not been able to get it right together this afternoon. Tex Evans comes through with the ball there. Mark Lee on to Sharrett. Jones in the action with Ward and Haggerty, but certainly there Bateman adjudged as going in touch after some interpassing from the Saints. Well, a knock on being spotted there by I think referee Spencer actually brought it to I should say touch judge Spencer brought it to referee Whitfield's attention. So Saints feed, Saints come up with possession. Jonathan Griffiths on the diagonal run. Loughlin can't take it. The ball being put to ground again. 7 points to 6 in Salford's favour. 10 minutes of the second half gone. Salford hook the ball. Drive down that far side, but Connolly, a super tackle from Connolly. Shakes his man down there. Bangs him to the ground. Bradshaw, second row forward, driving upfield. Well, nothing in that tackle at all there. Griffiths and Jones, and the touch judge on the far side there, Mr. Hayes with the yellow flag. No, it's not like referee Whitfield to miss anything, is it? Right under his nose. But The touch judge over there, Mr. Hayes, taking exception to that tackle, and Salford awarded a penalty. Touch found just inside the Saints 25. Mark Lee onto Sharrett. Got to get these men round the legs. They can't run without the legs. It's no good grabbing them round the chest. Tackling's going to be of paramount importance now. 10 yards from the Saints line. Salford leading by 7 points to 6. Kerry crossfield onto Blease. Mark Lee again attacked in half-back, taking it blindside. Sharrett again. Better tackling this time. Connor goes in, stops his man. Lee again. Grubbers it through. Obviously tried to impress referee Whitfield and gain a penalty. But Saints tap it quickly with 4 or 5 Salford men offside. Cooper. Devine. To Paul Jones now. Saints will have to keep hold of this ball. Obviously we can see Salford's ploy. Referee Whitfield and Mark Lee just getting tangled up there, but it's Haggerty. Unlucky there. Haggerty onto Beavers, he just couldn't take it. The idea was right from Roy Haggerty, but Beavers just couldn't take it. The ball going down, and another unforced error from the Saints. 10 yards inside the Saints half, scrum down with a Salford feed. Referee Whitfield having a word with the Salford forwards there. What he's talking about we'll never know, but Saints have got to come back to pack down. There's a Salford feed. Well, he never retired there, did Kerry. Right in front of referee Whitfield, he's watching for the ball. Saints push Salford off the ball, and Kerry never retired. But he's not penalised for it. Salford are in possession. Well, Saints release the ball from the Salford hands. It's only apply what Salford are doing. And why not? If it's good enough for them, I'm sure it's good enough for us. 2 Kiwi coaches, Kevin Tamati and Mike McClellan. McClellan, an ex-international fullback, whereas Tamati is, as we know, an international forward. Quick hands there from the Saints. On to Kevin Ward now. Inside ball to Shane Cooper. Turns in the tackle, but he drives up to within 5 yards of the halfway. Groves off on a scamper through. Sharrett completes the tackle. Haggerty releases it. Saints spread it quickly. Jeff Clare comes up, and the Salford defence certainly moving up very quickly. Beavers touches the Salford man as he kicks through, but it's on to Evans. Quirk has him. Quirk tried to force him into touch, but Beavers comes in to assist as Evans digs in. With Salford in possession. Ian Blease right in front of our camera position. Mark Lee. Inside ball to Bradshaw. Salford lying deep now. The Saints move up. Kerry, lofted ball onto Gibson. Short ball to Williams. Well marshalled this time. Bailey quickly in with Jonathan Griffiths. 15 minutes gone, 7 points to 6 to score. Six tackle signified by referee Whitfield. The ball to Kerry. Lofts it high in the air, and everybody in front of Kerry. Well, Mark Bailey can't take it. It goes back to Salford hands. So Salford very fortunate there, but certainly the Saints are having a nightmare with the handling. Sharrett. Certainly we don't want to repeat of the third round Challenge Cup tie here at the Willows. St Todd's on for Wembley, but we went out by 22 points to 18. Bradshaw bursting through, back to Lee. inside to Sherratt. And when a team's got its tail up, it certainly everything seems to go right. But the Salford faithful now, they're coming to life as the team are approaching the Saints line. The ball going back, loose handling, but they're just managing to capitalise on it. Kerry in possession, 10 yards from the Saints line. Fell, Clare along the line, Gibson. Got to get in and take the man with the ball. Well, forced off the ball there, Jones. Clare, well, the ball's down, it's a knock on, but Clare forcing Jones, taking the man on suspicion as he tried to get on that loose ball. But Salford lose possession just inside the Saints 25. It's going to be a scrum with Saints speed. Saints taking the scrums 3-2 now in the second half. Shane Cooper, no way through for him. He runs back into the Salford defence. Upended there by Blease as Groves tries to scamper through. Local lad Groves, as I say, starts his career here at Salford. Only lives round the corner from the ground, and there'll be no love lost. Jones attacked in half-back, on to Groves again. Out to Jonathan Griffiths. Connolly on his outside. Griffiths takes them on. Sixth and final tackle. Quite a few Salford players are offside there. But the ball comes to Haggerty. He tries to grubber it into touch. It goes in on the full. Therefore, the changeover is ruled. Salford back in possession. But after Salford charging up to within 10 yards of the Saints line, they've been forced back to just inside their own half. They just made headway into the Saints half now. The ball's loose, Cooper snaps it up. On to Griffiths. Sees the gap, Griffiths looking for support inside Bailey. Lying on at the play the ball there is Williams. But Saints managed to get it going. Haggerty now, he'll take him on. Bounces off one, onto Loughlin, into space. Well, it's charged down, but Connolly has possession. It looks as though it was a pinpoint ball from Loughlin to Connolly, but somehow a Salford player got in the middle. Groves charging for the line. Lovely dummy from Groves. He's going to make it. Oh, he must be inches short. Unlucky there, Paul Groves. Man of the match at last week's first round tie at home to Trafford Borough. But Salford moving up exceptionally quickly at the play of the ball. Beavers, Cooper looking for support, but unfortunately all the players out of Shane Cooper's reach. Haggerty now going for the drop goal. Well, it's over, there's no danger. Puts Saints back on level terms and gives Saints back possession. Good bit of play from the Saints there. It certainly looked a pinpoint pass from Paul Loughlin to Gary Connolly. But as I said, a Salford player got in between them, and then Paul Groves nearly got in at the corner. A new pair of shorts on the far side. Is it for Connor? No, it's... Yes, it is, isn't it? Anyways, Salford kick it out. Connolly on to Cooper, on to Jones now. Yes, it was Ian Connor. Salford player taking a knock in that tackle. Beavers. Les Quirk loses possession. Well, Tex Evans there doing a bit of forcing out, but it's the number 3, Martin Burke. It scampers in for a try, and yet another Saints handling error, and Salford capitalise on it. Saints lose possession. Burkitt snapped it up. And Phil Beavers, as he made despairing efforts to get to Burkitt, he was professionally fouled by Tex Evans. I'm not saying he'd have got to it, Phil Beavers, but he certainly pushed out of the way. But another unforced error from the Saints. Certainly the handling this afternoon has left a lot to be desired. So it's Kerry now. Salford in the lead, 11 points to 7. Eight yards in, just inside the 25. Strikes it well. Is it coming in? No, waved away by the touch judges. Unfortunately, 10 points coming from Saints' mistakes there. And Tex Evans shows the ball. Drives through, but Paul Jones brings him down just outside the Salford 25. 23 minutes of the second half gone. Salford in the lead, 11 points to 7. Certainly a good, hard cup tie this afternoon. And Kevin Tamati's certainly got his men all fired up. Blease, Haggerty and Griffiths bring him to ground. Mark Lee stepping up quickly at the acting halfback. On to Sherratt. Back for the kick upfield. Beavers takes it comfortably. Drives over to the wing. Beavers into space. Finally brought down at the second bite by Fell, and Gerrard tries to score to the Burkitt. Jones driving up centre field. Cooper on to Ward. Ward straightens up, turns in the tackle, releases it back to Devine, I think it is. But he's clamped up straight away. Well, Blease on to Groves there. Quick man marking. Sixth and final tackle. Cooper, short ball to Haggerty. Into space, Bailey's with him. Lofted ball, Quirk can't take it. Unlucky there. Bailey on the inside, Haggerty lofts it over to Les Quirk, but he couldn't take it. But a lovely ball there, Haggerty put into a big hole. Quarter of an hour to play, Saints trailing by 4 points. 11 points to 7 the score in Salford's favour. Sherratt on the burst there, certainly done some damage. In the centre field, in the powerhouse, in the forwards. Quick break from Salford, onto Williams. Hadley on his outside, but he's well wrapped up. Makeshift winger Gary Conley there, and Paul Jones. Hadley from dummy half. Connor brings him to ground. Salford play it blindside, onto Mark Lee. Sees the gap there and pops it into touch on the Saints 25. Sean Devine to feed. Well, one against the head. Certainly didn't retire there, did Kerry, but the referee Whitfield not penalising him. Burgess powering his way upfield. Saints can't afford to concede any more points. Cassidy. Evans at dummy half. Salford move it in field. Clare gives the dummy, brings it over blindside. Finally tackled. The referee Whitfield shouts held. Mark Lee onto Cassidy. Turns in the tackle, but he's well wrapped up. Forced back a few yards. Sixth and final tackle now. Will the ball go in the air? Mark Lee back to Kerry. It's charged down. He's waved them off. As we say, sometimes he waves them off, sometimes he doesn't. Kicked, charge down is the indication there. Salford with another 6 tackles to hopefully penetrate the Saints line. Mark Lee ducks under the tackle, and Salford are within 5 yards of another score. Sharrett at dummy half. On to Cassidy. Inside ball to Sharrett. Saints forwards will have to come in. Sharrett, oh, nearly just forced back. Corner it was that time that dragged him back. Cassidy again. The ball released. It's loose. Saints have it, do they? No. I thought Connolly had it, but it's the 6 tackle again. Well, Saints give away another 6 tackles. Just nothing going right for the Saints this afternoon. A tremendous amount of ball they've lost. The Salford drive for the line. Cassidy along the line. Kerry, Gibson, misses out Gibson. As he comes round for the loop movement, and Gibson's there under the sticks. Well, that's another nail in the Saints' coffin. There's only 12 minutes of play remaining, and it's going to be an uphill battle now with 6 points coming from that score. Gibson goes through there. As I said, Salford with the tails up. They've certainly put it together. They're not frightened of throwing it about. Into passing, crisp passing there, and Gibson linking up as the final man. He touches down under the sticks. Just a formality for Kerry, and it's going to be 17 points to 7 now. So Kerry, 8 yards right in front of the sticks. Saints losing, well, about 18 tackles there, more or less 10 yards from their own line, losing possession. And Salford have certainly made them pay for it. So both teams making substitutions now, with Bateman coming back on for Haggerty. And I think it's Bradshaw coming back on for Blease. So the substitutions allowed to take place now. So there's Blease going off, being replaced by Bradshaw, and Roy Haggerty's gone into the dugout, being replaced by Andy Bateman. Whether he's took a knock, Haggerty, or not, I don't know, but he certainly had a decent game. Shane Cooper just kicked it the required 10 yards, but Salford tidy up. Ward in hard there on Sharrett. On to Clare. 10 points in arrears, Saints, and only 10 minutes remaining of this second round Lancashire Cup tie. Hadley. Devine brings him down with a cross buttock. Clare moving up as Burkitt has the ball. Devine and Loughlin tidy him up. Mark Lee at dummy half. On to Cassidy. Brings it blindside, chips it through. Gathers possession. No, he doesn't. Eluded me there. Les Quirk. I thought Cassidy had gathered it, but Quirk snaps it up. Saints in possession and a lot to do. In their own 25 and trailing by 17 points to 7. Groves, lofted ball to Connolly. Connolly puts a bit of pace on there, rounds Hadley, but he just manages to grab him. All Salford offside at the play of the ball. Yes, and being penalised for it this time. Well, I reckon that's the Saints' first penalty this second half, and 31 minutes gone. And Salford have only had one penalty. man of the match awarded by Greenhalgh's Brewery for this Greenhalgh's Lancashire Cup, being awarded to number 9 for Salford, Mark Lee. Andy Bateman up to the halfway line. Mark Bailey, the dummy half. Cooper trying to get things underway. Jones, short ball to Beavers, into space. Inside ball, but it's tidied up by Cooper. Gives the dummy, throws it inside. Whether the ball had gone before he was dispatched into touch, we don't know, but the touch judge on the far side, Mr. Hayes, has his flag up in the air. Saints giving the 10 points, which is the difference away from bad handling, to Salford opportunist tries. As Salford come up with possession. Well wrapped up there, Jonathan Griffiths and Phil Beavers. Fell. Bateman brings him down, just short of the halfway line. 7 minutes remaining. Hadley. Cooper brings him down right on the halfway. As man of the match, Mark Lee feeds the ball inside onto Cassidy. Salford keep it going onto Burgess. Back to Mark Lee. Inside ball to Kerry. Onto Cassidy again. Well, champagne rugby from Salford. Saints forced to defend. And a lot of defending. Onto Cassidy. Well, that's gone back 10 yards. Onto Evans. Inside to Cassidy again. Well, that's forward pass. A mile forward, but going unnoticed again. Onto Hadley. Forced into touch on the far side. But good enterprising rugby from Salford. Obviously they've got the tails up. There's only 6 minutes remaining. They've a 10 points lead. Saints come up with possession. Well, actually Kerry penalised this time for not retiring. So a penalty going Saints' way. Phil Beavers steps up quickly, knows the urgency. Well, has Beavers found touch? He hasn't. Gibson coming away with it. Bailey brings him to halt, but another unforced error there from the Saints. When we should have been in possession and pressing on the Salford 25, we're forced to defend with Salford in possession just inside their own half. Burgess taking it on his own from the acting halfback. Well, last year it was Oldham that dumped the Saints out in the second round. Oldham, a second division side last year. 36 points to 6 by the Saints on their own midding. And Saints trailing by 17 points to 7 against second division opponent Salford here at the Willows this afternoon. Salford lost possession there, and Saints trying to get things going. Short ball to Jones. Loose pass there. Loughlin can't take it, but a knock-on's going to be ruled. The handling this afternoon from the Saints has been, well, words fail me. Disgraceful. But a scrum down to be formed on the halfway line, about 12 yards in from the main stand here at Salford. Kerry to feed. A one against the head there. Saints come up with it, spread it quickly, and quick hands is going to be the name of the game. Loughlin into space, but well taken down there as Jonathan Griffiths had just overrun Paul Loughlin. Mark Bailey inside to Cooper, onto Ward, back to Jones. Will have to be spread quickly, this ball. It's no good trying to drive it up centre field. Salford tackling certainly held out this afternoon. Beavers. Time running out. Just over 3 minutes remaining. 17 points to 7 in arrears. Hands and knees for Groves there as he tries to scamper up. Certainly a tireless worker is Paul Groves. And it'll hurt more than anything to go down against his hometown club. Six Tattle. The ball with Bateman, on to Cooper. Chips it through, but well taken by Hadley. Brushes through some feeble Saints tackling. The ball drenched clear. Well, the tackle must have been adjudged to have been completed, and Connolly is penalised for wrenching the ball loose. Time out as Roy Haggerty comes back on to replace Paul Jones. Salford making a substitution now, with Sharrett coming off. And Bradshaw coming back on. No, I beg your pardon, it'll be Blease, will it? Let's come back on. With Mark Lee to get things underway. Adrian Hadley coming in field. On to Bradshaw. Jeff Clerk, Haggerty and Cooper stop him. Matt Lee centre field, on to Cassidy, lofted ball there, on to Hadley, he chips it, tries to follow this kick up, is it? Yes, he's made it, good try from Hadley, but I think the result, the certainty the result was beyond doubt. Good lofted ball there. A cut-out pass from the Salford man. Hadley took it, took the Saints defence on, he chipped it through, and he won the chase for the touchdown. In the far corner, 21 points to 7, a resounding win for Salford this afternoon. So a good try there for Hadley, superb finishing touch in the 39th minute, puts the result obviously beyond doubt, but I don't think that was in any doubt at all really, with 17 points to 7 with time running out, and Kerry attempting to convert this Hadley try, and Salford will go marching through to the semi-finals of the Lancashire Cup, and the draw to be made tomorrow morning at 20 to 8. So obviously a disappointing display from the Saints side, and no doubt the coach will come in for plenty of stick from the spectators, but he can only do his job. He does the coaching, he can't actually do it for him on the field, and obviously unforced errors have led to Saints' downfall this afternoon. They're professionals out there and they've got to get stuck in and get it done. The man in charge, he'll always get the hammer, but he can't, as I say, get on the field and do it for them, even though he wants to. And there's 3 of us up here that want to do it for him as well. But it's Salford in possession. On to Conroy now. It's Conroy that just come back on to replace Sharrett. For playing in actually time added on for stoppages. There's Cassidy there. Haggerty and Ward. Just waiting for the final hooter to go. Lee grubbers through. Finds touch on the Saints 25. So Saints bundled out of the Lancashire Cup at the second round certainly for the second year in succession. And now Saints have to concentrate on their opening league programme. An away trip to Hull at the Boulevard next Sunday. The Saints come up with possession from the scrum. Beavers into space. Shane Cooper, tireless in his efforts to get the Saints team underway, but things not going your way, and everything going Salford's way this afternoon. They've tackled well, they've threw it about well, capitalised on the Saints' mistakes. There's the final hooter, and joy for the Saints, and Mark Lee turned round, obviously one up for him to defeat his old team, and in the cup competition as well. So half-time, it was 6-2 for Salford with that Evans try goal by Kerry. Then Saints came out with all guns firing, and a Quirk try in the 3rd minute, level the scores at 6 points each, and it certainly looks as though we got a game on our hands. Then Mark Lee popped a drop goal over, Roy Haggerty one for Saints, and we're on level terms halfway through the second half, and it's 7 points each. Then tries from Burkitt, Gibson and Hadley. The Gibson try converted by Kerry, so the final score here at Salford, the second round of the Greenhalghs Lancashire Cup, a resounding win for Salford by 21 points to 2. Anyway, thanks for joining us. It's your Saints video team, and as I said, we'll be hopefully at the Boulevard at Hull next Sunday for the opening game in the league campaign.